You're this perp back with another video, and I just got done checking out the first episode of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. If y'all know, if you've been following my Power reviews, I'm not a fan of Book 2. Doesn't really feel like Power, but you can go check out all my Power related content in the description below. I'll have a link for you to check out. But this is just going to be my quick thoughts on episode 1 and where they can possibly go with this whole entire series, because this, to me, felt the most like Power in such a long time. This is essentially the origin story for Kanan and just the origin for the Power universe overall. Tommy's spinoff is coming out later next year, so we're gonna have to wait on that. This, I don't know exactly the dude that's playing Kanan, but he is definitely spot on. He's way more believable as Kanan. He looks like him. He sounds like him. He uses this like kind of same mannerisms. I really like just the tone that they set off from the jump, from the moment we're introduced to Kanan's character back in like 90, was it 1985? Yeah, he was about 10 years old at that time, getting picked on and bullied. And this is where we get introduced to his mother, Raquel, or Rock. She's a much better mother than Tasha. You know, she's a very interesting character, very compelling character. She pretty much kind of puts that battery in Kanan's back, no pun intended, and tells him, like, you know what, you need to go face those bullies. So he goes back and beats those bullies up with, like, this sock filled with batteries. That's why I said that, and whatever. Anyways, that was pretty dope. And then we jump into 91, where our story really kicks off with Kanan, and just, I'm really just liking the overall tone of the 90s. You definitely feel it. I just like that 50 Cent is narrating, or Kanan is narrating his own life, and just who's who. We get introduced to Kanan's uncle, Lulu and Marvin. Those are Rock's older, Lulu, I think, is the younger brother, and then the older brother is Marvin. Marvin's also Jukebox's father. So Jukebox definitely is going to get a lot more backstory throughout this series, where in the original Power series, we didn't get to spend that much time with her character, so it's dope to see her and Kanan's relationship kind of being built out, and it really shows that they are really close. And I'm wondering what kind of rift they're going to go through towards the end of this. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be like a 6 season series. I could definitely see that happening, because this is Kanan when he's 15. So technically, I did the math in my head. Ghost wouldn't be popping up until like probably like season 3, maybe 4 at the latest. So we just got to wait for that. But everything leading up to that, I think, is really interesting, and I'm loving how they set up Kanan's character. And there are comparisons with Kanan's character at this point in Tyreek, but obviously they are completely different, as Kanan's more so willing to put in the work, where Tyreek really just got things handed to him. You know, that's my opinion. So we also see that how Kanan, they really focus on his decision making right off the rip. We see a lot of just what makes Kanan the way he is, and they tease us a lot that I feel like somewhere down the line, probably not in this season, but possibly in a future season, that Kanan's mom's going to die, and then that's what's really going to make Kanan kind of go down this path of being a villain, you know, because he is essentially Power's biggest villain, I would say, next to Lobos and stuff like that. So it's interesting that you have all these characters, and it doesn't seem like a lot of these characters are going to make it out of this series, and it looks like Kanan's really going to have to really start to be self-aware of his actions, because his mom is kind of getting into it with another rival, dealer. that's where Joey Badass's character Unique comes in. Unique is like the biggest, the biggest hustler on the streets and stuff. It's crazy, and they're fighting over turf, and they kind of come to terms, but that all comes to an end when Kanan decides to take things up into his own hands to protect his mother, and lights up this dude. I forget his name, Buck 20 or something like that. And I really like how they showcased his first kill. You really felt that, and he. And I just like the narration of 50 Cent in these moments too. It's really dope. So they really don't waste any time getting to Kanan and just building out his character, fleshing out his story. Because I was thinking they're going to wait till the end of the season to give him his first kill, or at least midway through. It's good to see what kind of tone that they're setting in this first episode, that, Kanan's got a target on his back. There's no more peace anymore, so it's going to be nothing but bloodshed until the dust settles. And I think Kanan and a few other people are going to be the last people standing. I really just like this was a really good start to something that could be that has potential to be a great series. Snowfall definitely has some competition, even though that takes place in the late 80s. They're almost around the same time, but I love the tone of this. I'm really liking all the characters that we get introduced to. There's violence, there's sex, of course, because it's power. It just feels more authentic to the characters and just the world that we were building in the earlier series with the first 3 seasons. Now, that could all go out the window later on with the writing and stuff, but I feel like they know what they're doing with this. Kanan's got a whole target on his back, like I said. His mom is stressing, and I don't think she's going to make it out, obviously, out of this series. Something bad's going to happen to her. She's going to get caught up in the crossfire, and it's all because of Kanan. But man, I'm so looking forward to seeing the progression of all these different characters, especially like Jukebox. I really want to see her kind of get busy and stuff in this. You got the law enforcement aspect to this also being presented. They didn't show too much about it, but I feel like it's going to be better than Proctor and all that stuff and Sax. I think it'll be more serious. It just, that's the thing about this series. It just feels more serious. It doesn't feel like a carbon copy of the original series, like Power Book 2 just feels like a copycat in a way. Let me know how you guys feel about this first episode. I think this was a dope start. Who is your favorite character, and who you're going to be looking forward to seeing pop up in this series the most? I think everybody wants to see Breeze. I definitely think we'll see Breeze at some point, possibly in like season 2, because they didn't make any mention of him, but I don't know how he's going to factor into all this, and he's a big key character in Kanan and Ghost's story, so I don't know. Really dope start. Loved it. Let me know what you guys feel about this first episode. Till next time, I'm out.